Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 28 live feed spoilers. Let's just start this off here with the question. How much sleep did everyone out there get after, Jess and I, we are in a state of delirium. We're going to say that from the start. The amount of crash outs that we have collectively had over what in the world is going on with this power overnight. We're going to get into everything in this update, but oh my goodness.
I'm as tired as Drew, who seemingly has been dropping hints and hints and hints. Got up at whatever it was, 4:30 in the morning, called to the diary room. I'm like, Drew, guy, if you have this power and you didn't use it and it's not being used and you go home with a power in your pocket, I'm gonna be so mad at my next cleaning. I'm kidding. I don't go to his dentist.
I was about to be like, you know what? I'm taking the cinnamon roll offer away from you, Drew. We're not going to get cinnamon rolls in Temecula anymore.
I'm gonna be so disappointed. This is the mom in me. I'm gonna be so disappointed, Drew. Please don't disappoint me, because he is still out here, even today, dropping a coin reference. My guy, please, if you do not have this, I'm gonna be so mad.
I think the thing that's just been the funniest with us in the aftermath of the last 24 hours of feeds is that we are so conditioned to people within the Big Brother world having really big mouths. And typically if you get a power, and it's the same with Survivor, Idols, whatever, it's very hard for anyone to keep a secret because they're just strutting around, feeling themselves. You want to tell them, they're not even telling us.
Yeah, I mean, Drew hasn't really been talking to us, the feeders, that much this season. He's not more like D, who has been talking to us a lot more. And because Drew is in such a weird spot right now, when Haley won, he was like, I'm good. My alliance is back in power. And then the minute it was like, oh, I'm going on the block, I think he yeah, it's kind of oh, you're going to be a pawn. Okay, but am I going to be a pawn? I think that Drew just doesn't, if he has anyone to tell, it could have been Melody, but I think he's just probably at this point, who can I trust? My own alliance has put me on the block for no reason. There is no reason to put a pawn on the block this week, but here I am sitting on the block. So who do I tell? And the answer is no one. If he has the power and he's told no one, that's the right way to go about it right now.
Well, we're going to go through all of the aftermath of the nomination ceremony, all the weird smoke that's on Drew. We'll talk a little bit about the veto as well. But before we go any further here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because in addition to doing daily Big Brother 28 live feed updates here, Ted Lasso Season 4 is coming to Apple TV this coming week. We've covered Ted Lasso. We love Ted Lasso. It's a feel-good show. I played soccer for a few years when I was a kid. I was terrible other than one game that I scored a couple of goals. But you know what? I still really love watching this show, and we're so looking forward to getting back into that again.
Absolutely. We're still covering Silo and House of the Dragon, but over on our YouTube memberships, we've just dropped a brand new video all about the idea that is Big Brother 28 just a giant advertisement for Survivor coming up? Because it is. So we go over all the reasons why we're feeling this way.
Yeah, thank you guys for supporting us on YouTube memberships. It helps us to be able to keep making this content for you guys every single day. All right, so if you missed it last night, head of household Haley, insert deep sigh. Okay, she nominated Taylor, Drew, and Melody. Initially, it seemed like Taylor was her target. That has shifted more and more to Drew, because it seems just more and more people are cutting bait on Drew. Even Devins, who seemed like he was well entrenched with Drew, it almost feels like he's eager to just replace him with Yash at this point, even though I still don't know where Yash exactly stands on. He is just impossible to read in that way.
It's really wild how Angela's paranoia, because she's really taking credit for this, and she should, that her paranoia over Drew has sunk his game. And it's not Drew that sunk his game. He's still dedicated to the tool shed. He's still voting with them. Yes. He's still bringing information back. And even when it was he kind of started to realize that maybe he's on the bottom, trying to work with Barrett a little bit, that's still in their alliance.
Yes.
It's so interesting to watch Drew's game get sunk like that for no real reason.
Yeah, that's the thing. I understand the notion that, all right, we might need to get Drew out eventually just because he's got other connections and all that. Like, I get that, but not now.
He's still voting with you. He is still a vote for you. He hasn't turned on you. So why throw away that vote so early on? I don't know. There's still like 2 months of this game left.
Well, especially when you're in a situation where he's got multiple opportunities here, and that's without even talking about possible powers or whatnot. Just multiple opportunities to get himself off the block. And there is enough of a minority alliance in the game right now that there are other numbers he can go with. So it's like, if you wanted to go after Drew, do it when maybe there's just like a couple of people on the other side of the house. That way he has nowhere to run to, because now he does, and there is a chance that Haley doesn't even put up somebody else. Like, you know, she could put up Barrett, I guess, but that feels unlikely. It's probably just going to put up somebody else that's not really going to impact Drew's long-term plans if he flips to another side.
That's right. There's still too many people in the Underdog Alliance for them to be pulling the chute on Drew now when he actually hasn't turned on them in the way that they think he has.
Okay, well, let's get into sort of the immediate aftermath of the nomination ceremony, because it's always interesting watching how people's wheels start to turn, what they're picking up on, like right after the ceremony happens. Like, Drew indicated to Haley, it's just like, you know, it feels like me and Barrett are on the bottom of the tool shed. Like, he's being pretty obvious with his choice of words, but I think Haley can deny it all she wants, but I don't know why she would think that he wouldn't believe that at this point, because there are other people outside the tool shed that she could put up. And, you know, she has made this argument that I did not want to put up 3 women. That's fine. You could have nominated Josh. Josh is not on the tool shed, despite, you know, whatever side alliances he may be forming. So it's just like this argument for Drew, it already makes him a little bit suspicious.
Yeah. And if you wanted to put up somebody who's a pawn from the tool shed that's not a woman, Barrett is also right there. So for Drew, the argument is not only, oh, we kind of feel like we're at the bottom of the tool shed. It's, I'm at the bottom, because it's not Barrett, it's actually me.
So Haley is also being a little bit cagey with Barrett as to what's going on. And I think an easy tinfoil hat here is, okay, she might be just setting up Barrett in the event that Drew wins the veto. She needs a replacement. She decides to go ahead and put Barrett up. But I mean, this is the thing with Barrett as a possibility. I don't know if Dee is going to allow this, because it just feels like this is somebody who Dee can work. I would not be surprised if Haley ends up having to go in a different direction, whether it is a la-la, whether it is a lyric, and we'll talk a little bit more about the lyric possibility later here.
Listen, Haley, in general, just doesn't care what anybody else in the alliance wants, honestly. Like, nobody really cared for Taylor going up. They're all kind of like, this isn't really an anything. And she was like, well, I'm doing it. So I just feel like even if Dee pushes really hard, I mean, she's got to push really hard to get Haley to do anything.
Haley, you've just created a very miserable environment in this house this week. Like, everybody went to bed really, really early last night. I'm talking like 10 o'clock, 10:30. Okay, maybe Drew, Melody, Mallory stayed up a little bit later.
That's still later than me.
Well, it's just like, you know, in the Big Brother, we're just so conditioned to people staying up much later than both of us. Like, I don't go to bed as early as you, but I go to bed at like, I don't know, 11:30. I'm
in my old lady era. I like to go to bed at a reasonable time.
I think I just spoiled, because last season we had we had Vince and Morgan being up pretty much all hours. It just feels like the whimsy in the house right now is gone. And I think there's a lot of fear that's coursing through all of this, because Haley is somebody who is very blunt and seems like she either takes things personal or she makes things out to be personal in her head. And I don't think anybody wants to rock the boat on any of this. That's why there's been a lot of Drew bashing over like the last 24 hours.
So much.
Yeah, there's just a lot of, well, I don't want to go up on the block. I don't want something to happen to me. Yeah, I like Drew. Like, yeah, I think Barrett likes Drew, but Barrett is trying to play this game as long as he possibly can, even if it is frustrating to watch him do this.
Yeah, and I think everybody has kind of realized in the alliance that Haley, is going to do whatever she wants, that it is difficult to try to guide her in one way or another.
Yeah, and I think you just have to keep setting her up then. Just let Haley sink her own ship, because in theory, we are going to come to a time when someone not in the tool shed wins HOH. This is a theory.
Maybe. I would like to think that, but this is a pretty large alliance.
Yeah, I mean, this may be pure community darkest timeline where nothing good ever happens to anybody, but it just feels like you want to prepare for every possibility. That's why, Big Brother, flexibility is key. Keep setting up Haley. Let Haley, doom herself in the game a little bit later on, but we'll talk for a moment about the reactions from the other nominees here. Melody, really, really upset going on the block again.
Very upset.
Like, she hates Haley. She cannot stand Haley at all. And it's just like, why do you guys keep cutting the feeds whenever Melody starts talking smack about Haley?
I know. And like, I understand the idea of Melody going up. She is very strategic. She is trying to make moves and try to get votes and try to rally the other side of the house. That's a dangerous player to have in the house.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go after Melody for that reason, then why is Taylor on the block and not Mallory, who is also somebody who is doing that? You want to put up dangerous people that are rallying the other side of the house? Why is Taylor on this block, Haley? I don't understand.
Well, that's like, there's no sense to what she's doing. Like, that's the only answer I can think of, right? Because if the goal was, I want to split up a very specific potential power group here,
Right.
the Drew and Melody are close. And
Yes.
technically, I understand technically Taylor's on that side of the house, but that's not the same as Mallory and Melody's relationship.
That's right.
You get rid of one of these three, or you put Lyric up there, like, you're really guaranteeing that you actually split up some numbers that are very, very close. Like, Taylor's closest ally at this point is Lala, who's really not doing much of anything in the game. So it just, like, that rationale just doesn't play out. I don't think Haley's own allies really even understand what's going on here.
No, nobody understands what is going on here.
I mean, Melody, she was upset last night. She talked
Yes.
briefly just about wanting to go home. And it's like, we didn't give Lala too much grief about it last week. I'm not going to give Melody that much grief here either.
That's the thing. Like, I don't want to hear people say that they want to quit. I know that a lot of people out there are like, oh, if you want to quit, you took a space from somebody else. Blah, blah. Okay, I get it. But unless you've actually quit and you're like, I'm actually leaving the game, then you have not taken a space from somebody else. This game is very long, way longer than any other reality show. It goes on for 3 months, 24/7. And I think that even house guests that haven't said, I'd rather be at home, they've thought it. This is an extremely hard game.
So what is Taylor doing after the nomination? She's getting a pep talk from D, because Taylor, I like Taylor. I think she's a very interesting personality, but like, one of her flaws is just that she can't be fake with anybody. Like, she doesn't want to talk to you. She's not going to talk to you. And D, of all people, is like trying to give her advice, trying to get her to find a way to do some of this. I don't know if that's just in Taylor, and that may make it fun down the road if Taylor wins head of household.
Listen, I'm a lot like Taylor, and that's why I think that I wouldn't be very good at this show. I am really bad. Like, if I'm not vibing with somebody, pretending that I am, and this game really needs you to do stuff like that, I can't do it. I am a Pisces. I feel everything as I'm feeling it, and I can't hide it. I cry over everything. I feel what I feel. You get what you get with me, and if I'm not vibing with you, I'm not vibing with you. It's just the way that it is, and I'm not able to hide it. So I get that from Taylor, but then this is not the game for that. You have to, like, socially be strategic about things.
Yeah, I would not be good at Big Brother because I am a
That's
Libra.
a lie. You would be so good. Matt is so social and so kind and so fun to be around. I think that you would be Drew, but people would not kick you out.
I think I'd have two problems. Number one, as a Libra, I cannot make decisions.
No, that's true. You're on offense of your own making all the time.
Flip-flop all over the place. I'd make all these people mad, and then I would get really, really bored. Like, I am like a shark. I have to just keep swimming all the time. I feel like I'd sink my own game. But okay, well, we go into this morning now where conceivably at this point, there was no announcement of a power over. We'll talk more about the power debates in a minute, but it's just like, so when it comes to the veto, like, Drew was trying to find a champion. If you think about this as Game of Thrones style, he's out here being like, will you compete for me? And, he's gone to Devins. He's gone to all these other people. And it's just like nobody is really willing to commit to, yes, Drew, if you pick me and you get house guest choice, I will play that veto for you. I will win it. I will take you off the block.
Drew,
Yeah.
Your alliance put you up. Why would they take you off? So either you're absolutely the target, which you are.
Yes.
Or if you're a pawn and they put you up on purpose because they want you to be there because they're like, you've got the votes. Don't worry. We got you. We're trying to get out Melody. We're trying to get out somebody else that's not you. We need you to continue to sit there. I don't know why he thinks his own alliance is going to win a veto to take him off. None of it makes any sense. Like, I get that he's going to try to get that information by pushing to be like, hey, would you give it to me? Because that is information he's getting where people are like, probably not, right?
Yeah.
But just the same, they put you there.
Yes. They put you there when they didn't have to put you there.
No.
And it is like, you said this earlier, Drew's in a spot where he doesn't have really anyone he can 100% trust right now.
No.
So it's very hard in the process this morning, late last night, to read, okay, does Drew actually still trust any of these people? Does he not trust them? Like, the biggest piece of evidence that we got that it's like, okay, maybe he has woken up fully. Maybe he has. It's like he had actually a pretty intense at times conversation with Camus, because it was just like he not casually confronted Camus to some degree about other alliances, other bonds Camus is making outside the tool shed, because Haley is being really messy about all of this. Haley is upset in particular that Camus has been trying to bring in Lyric to this alliance. And I think it's a little reductive to be like, oh, it's because Haley's into Camus or anything. I don't want to say it's that. I think it's just that they already have a solid bond, and like he's out here bringing other people in that are obviously just going to be, you know, presumably more loyal to him. So it's just like, Haley doesn't want this.
No, and at this point, they have enough numbers that I don't know why anybody wants this. Like, yeah, you want her to vote with you if you can, but you keep them not in the alliance, but you keep them close, which was the original plan of the, you know, the alliance anyways, which was like, we're the core group, everybody go out and like kind of make a side alliance so that we can make sure that we get those votes as well.
So Drew should know from this conversation that, all right, you know, he is trying to read Camus, his reaction to putting forth this information to him, that it's like, okay, you're out here doing other things that, you know, presumably Drew is being accused of doing. But then Drew also kind of casually, kind of jokingly floats something that's happened in the last 24 hours, which is Camus spreading this information that Drew is out here saying that Taylor cried after the HOH competition, which, you know, Taylor has been upset about. So it's like Drew has found out information that Camus has been spreading about him. So he is just saying, hey, Camus, you kind of just like throwing things out here about me. What's all that about? You know, final two.
Yeah.
I think Drew's eyes are at least partially open, but if they're not open with that, they have to be open with what Barrett has actually said to him now.
Yes.
Barrett told him that it was just like, if people aren't willing to use the veto on you, Drew, that means that you're not the pawn. Like, Drew, your eyes should be just like you just went and had like a 20-gallon cup of coffee, the same type of coffee Jess and I had this morning after just like losing our minds over this power. That's
the thing. Barrett has basically been like, Drew, you're the target, without actually having to say, Drew, you're the target. That, yeah, if your alliance puts you up and then you're asking if they're going to use the veto and they're kind of like, then you're not a pawn. So, you know, wake up.
Okay, let's talk about the power speculation now, because this is so unbelievably, this is ridiculous. Jess and I may not exist after these next couple of days with how much we've just like talked ourselves into things here.
I swear, if he has this power or any power that's not the slot pass and he uses it and it changes the game, I'm just going to ascend to heaven.
I'm so, okay, because here's the thing.
The game needs to get shaken up.
Yeah, after nominations, I think there were a lot of people last night being like, okay, well, if he has the coin of destiny where he can, quote unquote, anonymously overthrow the HOH depending on the result of a coin flip, like, where is it? Back when this happened in Claire's season of Big Brother, like, this didn't happen right away. It happened like several hours later.
Right.
It is now more than several hours later. Nothing has happened with that. He has not said, officially that he has anything one way or another.
No, but it's so weird because it's a very specific power
Yes.
that he's been dropping hints about,
Yeah.
which is, he's talked about a coin flip. He's talked about like, let's overthrow the HOH. He's mentioned a coin again, like right before we're on
Yes.
here. He's mentioned it so many times that I'm just kind of like, what are you doing? It's so specific, and it happens to be a power that is up for grabs.
I am afraid. I am terrified. I have this deep pit in my stomach right now. He got this power. He's decided not to use it for now.
I think that's what's happening. My hard hat is on. I'm going to be so disappointed in you, Drew.
Yeah.
Like, then he really has to scramble. And at that point, if he does have that power and he doesn't go home and he's been able to scramble his way through this, either veto, blockbuster, he's able to move the votes, I'm going to be really impressed.
Yeah, I'm just sitting back and being like, if this is the power that you have, I feel like you gotta use it. Like, you might be able to do all that, but it's just like, you need to have yourself safe.
Yes.
I would think you want to try to find a way to have Melody safe as well, because she is like a working number for you. Like, we talked about this yesterday. The rules can always change with advantages like this. Like, who's to say whether he can nominate Haley or not if he ends up using it? But it's just like, if I was in the house, I would use it. And we get to overnight, and this is where we start to really just completely, our like half awake brains are just starting to lose it.
Absolutely. Listen, Matt does more of the late night watching. Like I said, I was asleep, but I was up pretty early because Felix's band, they back up at 5 o'clock in the morning, drumming on everything in his room. So I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. We're up. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah. So typically when somebody has a power, they have to go to the diary room in order to activate it. And so it felt like yesterday, the people who were around, both Dee and Drew went into the diary room around the time that a power would be given. And then overnight, we had Dee getting called to the diary room in the middle of the night. Then we had Drew and Melody being called to the diary room, which was really, really weird, because it's like, this is the day of veto, and it seems like, the process of the veto is taking longer today than usual, but still, you're not letting people sleep who need to win the veto.
Well, that's the other thing. I feel like Melody was maybe thrown in there as a way to try to like shake it up a little, because it's Dee and Drew yesterday, it's Dee and Drew in the middle of the night, and I feel like production's like, oh, we got to throw someone else in here too, or people are going to think that it's either Drew or Dee that have this power. And there's been, of course, a lot of speculation online as well. Does Dee have this power?
Now, here's the thing. We found this out just mere minutes ago. It was kind of not an easy conversation to hear, but it definitely does seem like Dee has confirmed to Devins that she does not have a power. And given that Devins told her, and they are friends outside the game,
they are working together.
Yes, like, it would be very weird if she lies to Devins about this.
I agree.
And like, if Devins found out that she lied about this, it would also be something that would really, really hurt their relationship. So I am thinking about this right now from the vantage point of, all right, Dee does not have it. And the way that she was talking in some conversations last night, it also doesn't feel like she has it. And she's trying to figure out, well, why did these other, reality TV stars get put in there? And why not me? Like, what's going on with the voting public here?
The other thing is Dee has been talking to all of us, the live feeders. So if for whatever reason she didn't tell Devins, which I seriously doubt, I feel like she would have told Devins, she probably would have told us privately. I mean, we're not part of the game in that way, right? And she probably would have been like, thanks guys, I got this. This is what I'm thinking about it, that she would have told some of us.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I would be very, very surprised if she has it at this point for all of those different reasons. Now, another bit of possible speculation out here is because of all the coin drops that Drew has been making.
So many.
It's like easy to assume that may be the power that he has. But also, if he was in that room, he would have seen what a lot of the other powers were. It's pretty clear that he did not have a punishment. Nobody has a punishment. They would have shown that, I believe, by now, right?
And that's the thing, too, is like, you're not allowed to use production as game strategy. But he hasn't actually said like, hey, I have this. He's dropping things in other ways that is kind of riding the line of a rule break.
So the other idea that might be out there is that did Drew get the mystery competitor, because he was asking all these people if they would play the veto for him, if he would do this, if they would do that, where this is something we saw just the last season where we had, Keanu be able to use this power. Casey comes in, Casey does him a solid. Now, wheels starting to turn here. Who are some Big Brother people who have kind of been in the Los Angeles area a lot lately? Morgan is out here. Morgan won a lot of vetoes towards the end of last season. And then it's like, all those memes about Jag winning since we've already, Jag could very well, I just feel like that is something that could very well be in play. That would make a lot of sense. It
makes a lot of sense that could be something that's in play, but at the same time, it also makes so much sense that he would go to his own alliance and ask them if they're going to do that. That seems pretty reasonable and normal for him to do in the first place, if for no other reason to gauge if his alliance is actually riding with him or not.
Yeah, it's 100% something that he really just needs to know. He needs to figure out exactly where he is in the game. The last clue of anything going on with Drew, and this is also a very recent moment with him and Mallory and Melody, he basically said to them that he's cooking up something. That doesn't mean it's this week, but he's cooking up something. And I'm just extrapolating here because, we're all Delulu in the head now that it's just like he's cooking up something involving a power. It has to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, Drew told Melody that if he had gotten a power, he'd be in a way better mood, and then kind of made a face like maybe he's got it. I'm so down the hole with this. I can't even read faces anymore. I'm not saying I was ever that good at it, but still. I know. And he has mentioned again just recently the word coin. Again, that's 3 times.
Well, as of this recording right now, nothing has been confirmed still with the power. These secrets are being kept very, very tightly.
Yeah.
Rest assured, though, we will be back talking all things Big Brother 28. But, we want to know from you guys, what is your ideal as to how this week is going to end up playing out? Share in the comments and be sure to join our YouTube memberships because as we said earlier, we have a brand new video over there.
Yeah.
Is this season of Big Brother just one giant promotion for Survivor 51?
Bruh.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you here next time.